I think maybe 2 people killed themselves in this
Oh my
house.
goodness. Ano ang nakakapangilabot na hindi malilimutang storya ng ating bagong kaibigang Briton tungkol sa kanyang napuntahang isla sa Indonesia na ngayon lang natin maririnig? Siguradong kikilabutan ka sa kanyang storya mula ulo hanggang paa.
Self up on this Indonesian jungle. I came out onto the road and she was there. They were holding her down on the road.
Okay.
In my first few months in Indonesia, I was brand new, young, and I was sitting outside our friends and we were just talking, and all the children just suddenly ran outside, and I didn't speak Indonesian at the time, and the kids were scared. You could see they were scared, and I'm like, what's going on, and they went, go inside, Adam. I'm like, what, you come? And they're like, no, we don't want to come inside. I'm like, why are you sending me inside then, what's going on? They went, I could understand ghost, hantu.
Ah, okay. Indonesian ghost is hantu.
So I'm like, what, hantu? I don't believe in hantu. And I went inside, and this kid was in the corner of the room, this child, and he was like, I'm like, what's going on with you, mate? I'm like, I went over to him, tried to come on, and he bit me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he bit me. I'm like, what's going on with you? And I went back outside, and they told me, they said possession.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, possession.
Exorcist.
So, yeah. So are you coming in? They're like, no, we're not coming. Can you deal with that, Adam? So I went back in, and the kid was still in the corner, and his eyes were rolled back, like, and he was
almost white.
His eyes were white. His eyes were
no black.
Nothing. And I'm, me as a non-believer, I'm like, what's going on with you, mate? I'm a social worker. I'm used to dealing with crazy kids, but I've never seen anything like. He's actually foaming. His mouth was.
Oh, the mouth.
The mouth was foaming.
Foaming.
So I picked him up, and he tried to bite me again. So I sat him on my lap. With his hands, and he's like. And I said, we have a cure for this in the UK. I'm thinking he's just being an obnoxious little child. So you ever had your little finger squeezed?
Huh?
Can I show you how painful this is? Very painful, yeah? And I squeezed him, and there was no response whatsoever. And I'm like,
you squeezed her.
Him, he was a boy about 7.
And no painful.
Nothing, no. No pain at all.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, wow, that's really strange. And he's still trying to bite me.
And how do you feel while
I'm like, well, this is.
you're just wondering?
I'm wondering, yeah. So I said to him, we have a cure for this in the UK. And I tried to hurt him to snap him out of it. And there was no amount of pain that he didn't respond to pain at all. And then they called an imam, you know imam? Muslim holy man.
Oh yeah.
And we held him down on the floor. They came in, all the men, and they held him down. And the imam put his hand on his head and started talking in Arabic.
Exorcising.
And he calmed down, and then he started calling the spirit back, and then And then he went crazy again. And
So how long?
It was like about an hour and a half.
So what
It was
did
super
this stop?
strong for a 7-year-old kid.
What did they do to make it stop?
The imam chanted Muslim Arabic.
Oh,
over
okay.
him.
Ritual or
Yeah.
prayer.
But
They pray.
it took a long time for him to... And all the time his eyes were white.
Oh,
You could not see his...
from almost 1 hour.
An hour and a half.
1 hour and a half.
It shocked me.
Normal,
They were rolled back. You could not see his...
Oo, yung mata
You
niya.
could not see his...
Diyos mio, Marimar.
At all. It was strange. And the second time, I was driving back from the main town. It's about 11 o'clock at night. And it's about 24 miles from the main town, from the beach I used to live on. No, in Indonesia.
Same country.
Same island.
Same island.
And as I drove through the last village before I left, before you get to the beach, they flagged me down. They went, Adam, come. I'm like, what's going on? And they went, Fatima. Her name was Fatima. And she was about 30 kilo, 70-year-old woman. Tiny little woman. And they went, she's been possessed. She's in the jungle. Can you go and get her? And I'm like, what? Why do I have to go and get her? They're like, none of the Indonesians would go into the jungle at 11 o'clock at night. And you could hear her screaming in the jungle, going... I'm like, okay. I knew Fatima. She's a lovely lady, but they told me she was possessed. So I said, get me a torch, I'll go in. I'm like, is any of you going to come with me? Is there any one of you that is brave enough? And her grandchild, Robbie, God rest his soul, he said, I'll come with you, Adam. And so me and him went into the jungle looking for Fatima. And we could hear her screaming. Old lady that owns a guest house there.
Where do you live?
In Sabang, Indonesia.
Okay.
Sumatra.
So what's the connection between you and Fatima?
She was a good friend of mine.
Okay. So at in 11 o'clock in the evening, Fatima go to the forest.
She was in the jungle.
She was in the jungle.
Screaming.
So who's with him? Who's with her?
Nobody.
Oh my gosh.
Right. So I went into the jungle with... Robbie came with me, her grandson. And we got about 50 meters into the jungle and we could hear this. And all of a sudden Robbie said...
So you follow that sound. You follow her.
But Robbie said, I'm scared, Adam. I'm going back. I'm like, oh, nice one, mate. Okay. You go back. I'm going to go and find Fatima.
Yeah.
I felt I wanted to do that.
Short.
I kept on going into the jungle. And I could hear the screaming. And then all of a sudden, everyone started shouting, Adam, come out of the jungle, come out of the jungle. And at that moment, my torch died. So I had no torch, and I'm in the middle of the jungle, and I'm trying to find my way out, and I could not find my way out.
Oh my goodness.
And actually, that was probably the scariest I've ever been in my life. Right.
While you are finding your way, because your torch was totally...
The torch just died at that moment.
Yeah. You still heard the voice of...
She was screaming.
Oh my goodness. Kinikilabutan ako, guys.
And it was quite scary for me, and I'm not someone who scares easily. In the end, I just ploughed through the jungle. I ended up cutting all myself up on this Indonesian jungle. I came out onto the road, and she was there. They were holding her down on the road. Right? She's like a 70-year-old woman, right? Like 30 kilo. Like her arms are like pencils. And I came running over, like, Adam, help us. And I grabbed hold of her arm, and she just pulled my arm Like this, I was 95 kilo back then, a strong man. And this little old lady just bent my arms.
Oh my
like,
God.
And then other people came. There was like 8 of us, and she was, her whole face was covered in mud, and
Yeah, because of the jungle.
she was in a underwear, totally
Totally naked.
apart from her underwear, and she was just pulling us like, and she was going trying to bite us and shit, and I'm like, what the fuck is
Ang
going
tindi pala
on,
dyan sa
man?
Indonesia.
I was brand new to Asia at the time. It really, and
Mind-blowing.
I could not understand how.
Yeah.
I was hanging onto her arm. Right, her arms were like tiny little things. 70-year-old woman. She was just pulling.
She had children.
Yeah, her grandchild was the one who came in.
How many?
Oh, many. They're very productive there.
So that was your unforgettable moment in your life.
She kept trying
You
to
understand.
bite us. Right,
You understand.
once again, the Imam came, and the Imam, the holy Muslim man, put her hands on her head, and she's biting us all.
So how long? It's an hour or
This one went on for about 2, nearly 3 hours. She was.
OMG.
It was. You know, I'm not a believer, but this stuff, I don't know how. She was so
many questions
strong.
in your mind.
Yeah,
on your
I
mind.
don't know. Right. I was 95 kilo, a strong man. She was just going. I'm like, what the?
So that was your unforgettable experience.
One of them.
When it comes up paranormal.
She
But
was.
tell me, you told me lately that you have an experience in your house
And Kulion.
in Colyon. So
Yeah, the haunted house of Kulion.
yeah.
That's still empty now. Yeah.
So do you tell me that there is something beside you or holding you?
I'm still not a believer.
Yeah.
But I told you the house was scary. Nobody lived there for 5 years. And we only found out after we'd lived there for a few months that the last person that lived there hung themselves
Oh,
right where my hammock was. And me and Pete used to sit upstairs because it was cooler, and downstairs we'd hear the furniture move in the room that was locked, where the landlord stuff was. The furniture would go, and even Pete's not a believer either, but me and him were like, what? We'd go down. It's not rats. Rats can't drag a table. And I told you, one morning, I woke up and someone was cuddling me.
oh.
I could feel it.
Morning, just like 6 a.m.
Oh, 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Someone was cuddling me and they were rubbing their knee
Oh.
on my leg. And I'm like, is this Pete? Is he slept walked? You know, I know Pete. He's
Are you
not...
dreaming?
No,
I think.
No, this wasn't a dream.
Okay.
And I've had sleep paralysis,
Okay.
which is a different thing.
Yeah.
But for this, I didn't feel any evil. I just felt lone. If there's a ghost there, I want to go and bless this house, right? Because
Oh, what happened next? If you feel someone
they
cuddling
cuddled
you,
me, and
cuddle
they
you.
would rub me, and I'm like, who is this? Who's come into my house and cuddling me? And I rolled over, nobody there.
Yeah.
Very strange, really strange.
So that was happened a year ago, or
This was about 5 years ago.
okay.
But afterwards, our landlord told me that
There's a...
Nobody goes in that house. Everyone is scared.
What kind of house is that? It's a
I'll show
pension?
you tomorrow.
We can go there and...
I'll show you. We can't enter because if anything's going to ever make me believe, that house has made me
okay,
question.
so tignan natin guys bukas. Let's see tomorrow. We will make some paranormal investigation in that house.
We can climb over the fence.
But maybe we should be better to go inside if we have a chance to go in the...
I can speak to the landlady.
Yeah.
If come back and we'll... At least the last one person hung themselves right where my hammock was.
What does it mean? The last person living there
killed themselves.
Killed themselves?
Yeah.
Guy or
I think. At the time I didn't speak very good Tagalog, so
babae, lalaki?
come and ask the question.
Babae.
Yeah, I think babae.
Babae, girl.
Ako alan babae.
Babae. Okay.
But
you're not sure.
I think maybe 2 people killed themselves in this house.
Oh my goodness.
And then Nesta Neri, the landlord, they told him not to build the house on this land because it was built on the batu of Satan's rocks.
Oh, I see. So very interesting. The very interesting fact about your story is there is what kind of superstitious belief that
none of the locals would come in the house.
Yeah. Walang pumupuntang local doon. Oo, dahil natatakot siya sa bahay na yan.
It's been...
Kasi yung bato na tinatayuan ng bahay, the rock that builds that home or that house it's called Satan's stone, right?
Satan's stone, who throw the stones down.
Oh my gosh.
They told him not to build the house
so
there.
that one, do you experience that something paranormal?
I would never live there again.
Okay.
Right?
How
I'm
long
not
have you...
a believer, but it scared me.
Yeah. How long have you been living there?
We were there about 7 months.
Okay. So how many times that do you feel something strange?
Every day.
Oh my goodness.
I'd lie in my hammock, reading my book, and I could feel someone looking at me over my shoulder. Right? When Pete went back to the UK and I was there by myself, I was upstairs and I could hear the furniture dragging downstairs. I'm like,
Kinikilabutan ako sa
come and
kwento
look.
niya. Grabe,
I'm like,
nakakatakot. Mas nakakatakot pa yung kwento niya sa ginawa natin ngayon magdamag Yung ginawa nating vlog ngayon.
Parang easy lang dito
Oo. Actually, your story is more...
I got scared.
Yeah.
I got scared.
Your story is more terrible than comparing us with exploring here. Your story is more terrible or more scary than we explored here kanina.
We should go to this house, right? I want to bless this house because this spirit, and
dwells there.
It's a lost spirit. It's not an angry spirit. It's a lost spirit, and we need to find someone to put them to peace.
Okay, how would you do that? How would you do it?
Let's find a priest or someone.
But before anything else, we just want to explore. We will explore there. If papayag, kung sakali, if ever.
Tomorrow, I'll take you.
Okay.
But the gate is locked. The locals won't go in the house, I told you.
So what? Where's the key? Who's holding a key?
Nesta Neri's dead now. Our landlord. Gemma's living in Manila.
Oh.
So
it's abandoned.
Nobody wants to live there. Nobody in this entire island will rent that house because they're all terrified of that house.
Okay. So let's see.
Yeah, that's more haunted than
it's
this
a
place.
part of Colyon here.
It's a legend here.
Okay. Thank you for sharing the story because I think most of my subscribers would love this because you deliver is at your as well.
I'm not a believer, but this house really made me question my beliefs to the point where I was actually scared. And I let myself down. But yeah, something about this house
Are you
was...
feel scared?
Mate, it scared me.